You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire, but when he talking to a white billionaire, you humble.
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time, but I was
hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married?
Right.
Oh no, not me.
Well,
I ain't qualified.
All right, so we got to discuss Stephen A. Smith's interview with Ryan Clark in today's video. I see certain videos that are becoming viral, man. Stephen A. Smith answered all of the questions. Stephen A. Smith has been under fire from people like Steven Jackson and even comedian Godfrey for some of the things that have been happening with him lately, dude. However, Stephen A. Smith attended the Pivot podcast and wanted to talk about a lot of current events. I believe that he wants to exploit Ryan Clark's platform in an attempt to reach a larger black audience, because there is no other reason why he would be on Ryan Clark's Pivot show at this particular time. The fact that Stephen A. Smith was interviewed by them for no apparent reason at all was somewhat unexpected, correct? As I mentioned earlier, he spoke to a LeBron James team because, as Steven Jackson had said, you called out a black billionaire and criticized LeBron James, but when that white billionaire who was discussing Serena Williams' husband appeared on your show, you were, mind you, checked, and you had nothing else to say.
You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire, but when he talking to a white billionaire, you humble.
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time, but I
was hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married?
Right.
Oh no, not me.
Well,
I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, Stephen. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice
Then
department.
we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm
All
doing
right.
13 years strong. We got you. Alexis, thank you so much.
Serena Williams, she is married to billionaire Alexis Ohanian, and he came on First Take today to promote some new event that he's got going on with Atheos and all of that. And, people are talking about how he came at me, and took a sly dig, because of what I said. And, when Serena Williams was on stage performing at the Super Bowl. I've never met this man. I wish I was in studio today, but I'm not. I have a speaking engagement, so I'm out of town. That's why I was not there today. It would have been nice to meet him. I don't know the man. I have nothing against him whatsoever. I don't recall saying a negative word about him.
And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner, man. Hey, bro, listen, bro. And you dogging the black women. Let's stay out of politics and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right? Just stick to doing that, bro. Stop, bro, okay? You do not have the same energy for other people, but you got a lot of energy for Braun and black women and everybody else. Well, stop it.
I want to play these two videos of Stephen A. Smith discussing everything, including LeBron James, and stating that if he had been and Serena Williams' husband had checked them out in person, things would have turned out differently. And it's like, okay, buddy, the same old Stephen A. Smith script is already familiar to us, right? Before I return with any analysis, allow me to show you these two clips. Let's watch these videos right here. And if you have stayed this long, folks, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I sincerely appreciate the support it provides for my YouTube channel.
Have the LeBron situation, you go at him, and then last week Alexis Ohanian comes on the show, and it's the whole big thing about him saying something about you not being married.
Right.
How do you weigh what you say about people because you may have a situation like that, or that person is on your show, and now you have to deal with them having residual feelings from something you already said?
Well, first of all, let's go to that. Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband. It would have been an entirely different situation if I were in studio.
LeBron and you had the conversation courtside. You were being very honest about that interaction, and you said, okay, we don't like each other.
Right.
How do you feel you handled that situation overall? Are you proud of how that went?
I wouldn't use the word proud. I would tell you that I don't regret anything that I did in terms of handling the situation. I don't regret it now. And I would tell you my feelings haven't changed. I don't like him at all. He doesn't like me at all. I don't like talking about him because I think people think that I'm looking to talk about him. Like, LeBron's inside of Stephen A's head. If you don't ask me about him, I won't talk about him. You see what I'm saying? I got a job to do, and he will never interfere with my job. I'm gonna be professional. This man is one, in my mind, the second greatest player to have ever played the game of basketball. He's a great ambassador for the game of basketball. He's an incredible role model. What he has done with himself, what he has done with his crew, it's beyond admirable, and he will always warrant the utmost respect. But everybody hasn't had the relationship that I've had. I'm in the media. I'm a commentator and pundit. I know the things that you've done behind the scenes. I know the things that you've said behind my back. I know what you tried to do to derail me from being in the position that I'm in today. I know that if it were up to you, I'd have been stopped years ago. So it goes far deeper than I'll ever get into publicly. Knowing that, I still went on the air and was fair. And to me, you know, the way he handled the situation, coming up to me, courtside, all right, fine, you're emotional, whatever. I don't know who's getting on you at home, and you might have felt compelled to do it. All right, fine. You reach this, on Saturday night in Boston, after that happens, you talking to RJ, Richard Jefferson, our colleague at ESPN. Good brother, your former teammate. Whisper in his ear, he said something about me as a father. I couldn't take that. But when that man went on Pat McAfee's show, just to insult me, that was the final straw. To come on ESPN, just to insult me with a show that comes on after me, we know what you were doing. So my attitude is, fine, fuck it. This is how you want to do it? We good. Now we're in my lane. Because make no mistake, it's my lane. And you want to play that game with me, we fine. But the world needs to just understand I'm going to be professional. But in the same breath, there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. I don't like his ass. And he don't like me.
That's Stephen A. Smith responding to all of the people who are criticizing him. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of people have been criticizing him lately because they're beginning to recognize Stephen A. Smith for who he is, particularly now that he is using his political connections and other such things. He simply exudes a distinct energy when it comes to his own kind and how he interacts with other races, particularly white people, as people are now beginning to realize. His voice is always gentler and has a tender tone, unlike when he calls out someone who is black or has his own skin tone. Yes, dude, I would like to show you all the address and other details of Stephen A. Smith. Naturally, he is constantly playing the victim, which is why he used Ryan Clark's platform to do so, knowing that Ryan Clark would not engage in conflict or push back. He would simply let Stephen A. Smith appear on his show, pretend to be the victim, and attempt to write his own stories once more. Man, when he encounters criticism, Stephen A. Smith frequently acts in this manner. He must make an effort to alter the story. And with the LeBron James incident, he essentially stated that as well. This is my universe. You know, for example, you entered my universe when you checked me and confronted me. Stephen A. Smith is going out and claiming that LeBron James doesn't like me, so I don't like him, essentially stating that I can alter the narrative, and that's why he's playing victim with the subject. Contrary to Stephen A. Smith frequently declaring that he dislikes LeBron James, we haven't seen LeBron publicly state, I don't like Stephen A. Smith. As I mentioned earlier, this man is merely attempting to alter that story. That concludes today's video, everyone. I'd be interested in knowing what you think of today's video. Remember to press the like button. Remember to click the subscribe button as well. We'll see you guys at the next one, and we'll be out. Calm.